What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be discussing the NFL Divisional Round playoffs this weekend, coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's slate of games is Broncos versus Bills, Seahawks, 49ers. Sunday, we got Patriots versus Texans, and Bears versus Rams. We're just going to go top down, start with the first game, end with Bears versus Rams, and let's just get into it. Bills have a couple injuries, especially at quarterback. Josh Allen obviously has been dealing with a lot of injuries these playoffs. He's got pretty much everything's hurt, but he's still powering through. He's the Superman of that team. If you ask me, he's the most valuable player to his team. Maybe not of the league, but to his team so far. Like, I think if Josh Allen wasn't on that team, they wouldn't have, at least 4 or 5 of the wins they have this year. But his injuries, he's got a foot injury, he's got a hand injury. I think one of his fingers is banged up. But he still played through that Jaguars game pretty well. He made plays when he needed to be. He became Superman when he needed to be. Put the team on his back. Put the team on his back, though. They don't necessarily have the weapons that some of these other playoff teams do. Bills don't have a lot of. They don't really have a set wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. That they kind of just put that on the back burner, but they're making it work. Like in that Jaguars game, Josh Allen was kind of making the right throws to the right people. Just some dumps off. Also, James Cook is one of the best running backs in the league this year, and has been really helping out in the run game as well. Broncos, they have a pretty killer defense. Obviously, I know I mentioned that in the last video as well, but they have maybe the best cornerback in the league, some would say, as well as a CB2 that's really good. They're locked down over there. But I was listening to somebody on a podcast this week, and they were saying it sounds dumb, but it kind of makes sense. The Bills, their strong suit isn't their wide receivers, and the Broncos, their main weapon on defense is those lockdown corners. So does it really, I think it would cancel out each other, is what he was saying. Like, the wide receivers aren't good, but they're wasting their best asset on defense on those wide receivers. It kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't. I agree with it though, that you're kind of wasting your best position on the other teams. They don't really lean on the wide receivers, is what I'm saying. But that Broncos offense, their run game's a little spotty. It's not the best at times, but it can be good. With RJ Harvey, I believe, in the backfield still. Bo Nix, it just depends on what Bo Nix shows up. Really, he's kind of been on and off this season. He comes out to play some games all game, and then other games he doesn't show up till the fourth quarter. But I guess you can make that argument for the Bears as well. But especially with just specifically Bo Nix, he just hasn't played great in some games, has played great in others. You really, as a Broncos fan, you need Bo Nix to show up for the full game against the Bills, because Bills are sneaky good. People are saying this is Josh Allen's year just because there's no Patrick Mahomes. He's pretty much got an easy path. No Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. If he gets through Mile High on Saturday, I think he goes to the Super Bowl, and they have a good chance to win. The Seahawks versus 49ers, that's at Seahawks, obviously, because they got the number 1 seed. The 49ers are really banged up, probably the most banged up team in the playoffs right now. Kyle Shanahan's done an amazing job this year with the assets he's been given, especially with all the injuries they've had, especially last week with George Kittle having a torn Achilles. Brock Purdy really doesn't have much weapons anymore. He's kind of limited. I mean, he's still got CMC, and I think that gives you a good chance to win just because he's so good. I'm not sure if Trent Williams is back, but that would be key, especially, he's one of the best linemen in the league when healthy. Um, Seahawks kind of their home field advantage is going to be really important in this game, especially one of the hardest places to play when the Seahawks are rocking. And it's really going to come down to, can Sam Darnold be the Sam Darnold that we've seen for most of this year. He's kind of been, balling, to say the least, but he can also turn into Jet Sam Darnold from time to time. So again, kind of like with Bo Nix and the Broncos, you have to have Sam Darnold have very little mistakes. But then again, he can also make mistakes, as we've seen in the past with the Seahawks. Sam Darnold not playing the best. That defense is so good that they can kind of carry them to the win. And I think the Seahawks will win on Saturday just because with 49ers being so injured, like on defense as well, they don't have Nick Bosa. They haven't had him for most of this year. And then they don't have Fred Warner, their star linebacker, and they haven't had him for most of this year as well. So I guess you can make the argument that they're kind of just playing well without them. But I do think Seahawks take this win and go to the championship round. On Sunday, we have Texans versus Patriots. One of the key injuries for the Texans this week is going to be their wide receiver number 1, Nico Collins, is in concussion protocol. I don't think he'll come out of a concussion protocol this week, just because short week. You need 5 steps, and every 5 steps needs a day. So I don't think he can make it back in time. And New England kind of owns Texans, really, in the playoffs historically, but obviously you had Brady and Belichick for most of those years. So I guess you just got to see what Drake May and Mike Vrabel are cooking up over there in New England. But I do think New England's defense is coming together in these playoffs, as we saw against the Chargers last week. But they're going up against the best defense in the playoffs right now with the Texans, best defense in the league this year. Those 2 guys up front, especially Will Anderson's going to be getting after Drake May, getting on him. Pause. And then it's just going to it's going to be another defensive battle, I believe, unless because CJ Stroud hasn't really been playing the best ball. I guess not up to his standards of his rookie year, at least. This whole year, really, it's kind of been that defense carrying them. So it's going to be which offense comes out to play on Sunday for sure. You don't really know. It's going to be a toss-up for me. I do think the Patriots will win, unfortunately. Not a big Drake May fan, just because same rookie class as Caleb Williams. You kind of want your own guy to be better than the other one. But, it's definitely going to be a close one there. And then, obviously, we rounded off 6:30 on Sunday, Rams versus Bears. Rams coming to Soldier Field. They're going to be playing in that cold weather, might be snowing. It's going to be a tough adjustment to make for the Rams. Just weather-wise, they don't play a lot of games in the cold, obviously, over there in LA. And they play in their dome, so it's a lot of climate controlled, but that can't be the only factor. Obviously, Matthew Stafford's an amazing quarterback. They got a great running back, Kyron Williams. Obviously, wide receiver 1, probably the best wide receiver in the league, Puka Nacua, going up against our defensive backs, which we're kind of Swiss cheese. Our defense is kind of exploitable, to say the least. can't get to the quarterback most of the time. If we play man, we're done. The Bears are done if we play man. We saw last week we were getting 8 up with the man against the Packers. But I guess if we're not getting to the quarterback, we do not need to play man just because we don't pressure them enough. But I think if our offense can hang in there and keep our defense, rested and not going out there every 5 minutes, I think we could pull off the win if we shut down Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, which is a big if. They're quite a dynamic duo over there. Devontae Adams has a history with the Bears, obviously being a Packers wide receiver for a long time with Aaron Rodgers and kind of tearing us up, to say the least. Pause. Stafford's experience is a big note. Obviously, long-time quarterback in the league, played with the Lions for a long time. Not a lot of playoff experience with the Lions. I think he had one playoff game and they lost. But with the Rams, he's obviously won the Super Bowl the year he went over to the Rams. I think he's been to the to the playoffs with them every year, maybe missing 1 year. So that's a big factor. Just Stafford being a veteran in that locker room, helping those boys out in the Rams locker room. Also the Rams, they disguise their defense really well. So Caleb Williams is gonna be tested, just mentally, with a lot of different looks. Sean McVay is a brilliant head coach. Obviously, he's not the defensive coordinator, but he has a lot to do with it. So they're going to be mixing it up for sure, I believe, making it harder on Caleb Williams to kind of decipher what he's looking at. And if the Rams jump out early, obviously with the cardiac Bears this year, we've had a lot of comebacks, but I think this Rams team is a little different, unfortunately. I think they got a great running game over there with Kyren Williams. Their O-line is really underrated. They give good lanes for their running backs, give Matthew Stafford a good amount of time. So that's just going to be one of those things where if they jump out, it's going to be difficult to come back, especially with how long they hold the ball and other factors, of course. But with the Bears, this is going to be Caleb Williams' really, really pressured game he's going into. Obviously, last week against the Packers in a playoff game, that's immense pressure. That's probably, the most pressure filled it just keeps getting more and more as the seasons go on, or as the year goes on, deeper in the playoffs. This is his first playoff run in the NFL, with the Bears, obviously, and it's really how he's gonna deal with it. How he can, if he can play like he plays in the fourth quarter all game, I think it's an easy win for the Bears, but that's a big if again. Also with this offensive line we have against this Rams pass rush, that's kind of underrated. If we can hold up, especially since we lost one of our left tackles, I think, left guard, last week. I think he tore his Achilles as well. So we're going to either have Braxton Jones replace him, or I can't remember who else. But if we stay disciplined, stay ahead of the chains, I think that's a big deal. We'll see if we can do that. And this defense, if we get 1 to 2 turnovers, I think we win this game, really, honestly. Especially with the weather, like I said at the beginning. If we get 1 to 2 turnovers, I think we can win this game pretty easily. But I don't know. We didn't get a turnover against Green Bay last week, and we won the game. But you'd like to have a lead at some point in the game before the last 2 minutes. I think it'd just be good for morale. It'd be good for the fellows, and make things a lot easier on Ben Johnson calling plays, and Caleb Williams, kind of managing the game. So it's kind of it's really important that we get pressure on Matthew Stafford, make him uncomfortable, make him kind of trying to evade our pass rush. Montez Sweat's going to be a big deal. Grady Jarrett's going to be a big deal in this game. And I believe if Austin Booker, he's just gotten better and better and better as the years gone on. I think if those guys can create some pressure for Matthew Stafford, the veteran, I think it'll be a difficult time in Soldier Field with that weather, obviously. Because even when Matthew Stafford played in this division, he played in a dome, obviously, with the Lions. So he's not really, and especially obviously with him being in LA for the past couple years now, I think he's not used to it anymore. Going to this climate. So I think home field advantage is going to be big. I do believe the Bears can win. Like I said, if we get some pressure, if we make Matthew Stafford uncomfortable, if Caleb Williams plays all game like he plays in the fourth quarter, if we don't make stupid mistakes, if the flags are kept to zero, hopefully. We have a lot of pre-snap penalties on the Bears. I think they lead the league in pre-snap penalties in the regular season, so we shall see how that goes. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun weekend for football. A lot of good games. Just a couple. I think my predictions for the winners. I think Bills beat the Broncos, number 1 seed. I think they go into Mile High. Like I said, I think Josh Allen is going to be that Superman. I think he's going to, force a win for the Bills if, Josh Allen can be Superman, obviously, and they can get some sort of run game with James Cook. I do think the Seahawks beat that injury-riddled 49ers team. Kyle Shanahan has done an amazing job this year, and I just think it's the straw that broke the camel's back that Kittle got injured, and I think the Seahawks defense can shut down Brock Purdy, and they can get that win basically for the Hawks. And Texans Pats, like I said, I think Patriots win it. I think their offense is just going to be better than the Texans offense. It's like I said, kind of clash of defense right there. And I do think just Patriots offense is better than Texans offense, just because CJ Stroud has been such a hit or miss this year, and he's missing a lot. And final game, Rams versus Bears. I do think Bears win this game. It's going to be a hard one, but I think home field advantage, the fans, they're going to make it hard on this Rams team. We just have to neutralize Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. If they beat us on the ground, they beat us on the ground, but we cannot let Puka Nacua just go for 250 yards, 3 touchdowns against us. CJ Gardner-Johnson should be back from concussion protocol. That should help the defense a little bit, because we had like 2 backups in last week, which was they were Swiss cheese back there. So I do think Bears win this game. Bear down, baby. Sunday 6:30. I will be watching. It will be a close game, but I do think Bears pull off the win. So if I just drop y'all's predictions in the comments. Let me know who you think's gonna win this week. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to be releasing a couple more, maybe 2 a week, maybe 3 a week. We shall see. So yeah, see you on the next one.